give me a minute. You don't have to give me a minute. It's my channel. I can do what I want on my page. I'm going to take a minute to brag about my kid. I was just doing the last video I just posted. I was just doing that video. I was in the middle of making the video, and my phone rang, and it was my kid's school. My son is in 8th grade. He's a 14-year-old 8th grader. And at his school, they have this thing where if students go above and beyond, I'm not talking about their classwork, go above and beyond in school in general, the teachers can call down or send down something to the dean, I think it is. And it's like it's just sort of like a shout out. Hey, this kid went above and beyond. It's hard to explain. Anyway, it was the school calling with another one of those. It's our son's third. And it's like the first one he got, he was in, I think, his history class, I think. And they have some kids in there that are, maybe it wasn't history, but whatever class it was, they were having some kids in there that were struggling more than other kids. And so when he would finish his work early, instead of fucking off and going and doing the shit that he can do, because he finished early, he would go and he would help the kids that were struggling without being asked. And so the teacher was like, hey, that's going above and beyond. I think that you should be called out and recognized for that. It was awesome. And the dean does something in school to recognize them as well. This time, he had a substitute teacher in one of his classes that just really was kind of, lost a little bit, didn't really, was struggling to figure out the flow of the classroom. And I guess Tommy stepped up and just kind of helped the substitute out and the kids were like taking direction from him and listening. He was like, hey, come on, guys, stop fucking around. I know it's a sub, but whatever. And the sub left a note for the the regular teacher saying how helpful it was that he was there and helping stuff like that. And so the regular teacher gave another one of these awards to my son. I brag on all my kids. I love all my kids. So this is not just a bragging on my son thing. I'm proud of something every single one of my kids has done, and every single one of my kids has pissed me off to the point where I want to fucking scream at the top of my lungs. And this kid is no different. No different. But he is such a good kid. He really... We really lucked out. We got some really good kids. Don't get me wrong, they have made some stupid fucking decisions in their life. And they have, in many cases, learned lessons the hard way, so to speak. Excuse me. And once again, in his 14 years of being alive, he's no different. But he really, really, really is a good kid. I said to my wife, I think he would be a good teacher. I think we have a daughter that's currently at UIC in her junior year, and she's going to be an English teacher in Chicago public high schools when she's graduated. It's what he does. I mean, these kids are struggling. I'm done. I'm going to go help these kids struggling. This teacher doesn't quite know everything that's going on in this class. I'm going to step up. I'm going to help. And, back in the day, we would call that a teacher's pet or an ass kisser, right? And then you get a little bit older and you're like, they weren't really a teacher's pet. They were helping out, and it's just kind of who they are. And then you have kids and you see your own kid do it and you're like, you really just step up and help kids, don't you? Yeah, I would have never thought of doing that in school. Probably because I was one of the kids that would have needed some of the help. But when there's nothing on the line, when there's nothing to gain from it, he steps up and helps people. And I think that's a character trait that I don't know. Maybe it can be taught, but I think it's kind of in you. It wasn't in me in school, but it's in him. And I've had, our various kids of ours have done things like that at various times. I remember coming home from a day out running errands one time when Magnolia, our 24-year-old, was very young, and we're getting off the highway to go into our town, and there's this guy that's sitting on the side of the highway, and he is covered from head to toe in dirt, and everything he owns is sitting next to him. He's clearly without house at this point in time, without a place to live. He's living outdoors, and he's got a sign saying, he's hungry and he needs money, but he's just sitting there. It's like he's just deflated. And Maggie sees it, and she says, we need to go home. When we got home, we were only a couple minutes from home. When we got home, she's like, we need to get stuff together. We need to get old blankets and make sandwiches. And she sat there and made sandwiches and wrapped them up and gathered old blankets that we don't use anymore and had us take them back up to her. And I was like, wow, that's... When I was your age, I would have never thought of doing something like that for somebody. Or when my daughter Magnolia and my daughter Lily had their... they for a period of time anyway. They ran a charitable organization called Teddy Bear Care, where they gathered stuffed animals through donation boxes that they went around and put at various local businesses, and then they took those stuffed animals and took them to kids in local hospitals. And then this stuff with Tommy, and I'm like, it can't be taught because I didn't teach him that stuff. It's got to be in them, right? I mean, their mom is that kind of person. Their mom's a nice person. Their mom is somebody that wants to help other people, but they definitely didn't get that. I didn't teach them that. It has to be in them, I think. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point in time, but it just the purpose of this video was to brag on my son, because that's the kind of person you should be, right? This person needs help. I'm here and can help. I'm going to go help. So, good on you, Tommy. I'm very proud of the man you're turning into.